to the stock of the day, and that is Webjet. So Webjet Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Katrina Barry will step down in May of this year after it releases its full year results. Now, she just became CEO back in 2024. Webjet is reaffirming its guidance for 2026 with expected underlying earnings of between $28 and $29 million. The company says while global uncertainty continues to influence travel behavior, demand to date has remained resilient. But it's an interesting scenario because it also follows the departure of the CEO of Webjet's online travel agent in late February. RBC Capital says that renewed leadership is not necessarily a negative, pointing to the reiterated guidance as a positive. The broker has an outperform rating on the stock with a $1 price target, but also says that this leadership vacuum, so to speak, could bring out private bidders for the company. It's not something that would be completely outside of the realm of possibilities. Adam, is that right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. In that note, they did talk about Hello World and private equity firm BGH Capital each hold around 18.3% of the business. So it makes sense that they potentially could get close to or even think about taking a bid. Look, obviously there's a lot of demand that has changed with Webjet now. Most people aren't going over to Europe or long haul flights. They're potentially looking at a domestic or Asia focus, and I think that's still there. They did say that they remain, the demand remains quite resilient in what's happening, and they did reaffirm their 2026 guidance. Obviously, two key people, David Galt and Katrina Barry, moving away. It does say that there's some issues inside of Webjet that potentially, it's like the cockroach theory, yeah? You see one cockroach, there's plenty more underneath, and this is probably a good indication of that one. For me, I think you need for the war to fix itself before you look at these travel stocks. And if you're going to do something, buy Qantas is probably the better one. It's a better run business and things like that. So for me, it's a sell. I don't think you need to be there, and there's a reason why CEO and online travel agent, the executive heads are leaving. So it's got to be a little bit careful. But that bid does make it look a little bit more attractive. But you don't need to be there at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah, got it. So David, Webjet, instability at the very least when you get management turnover like that. Would you ever sort of buy into something like this in the hopes of some sort of an offer coming through?
Oh, look, it is something that we would look at. I don't think I'd be looking at that at the moment, though. We did have both Hello World and BGH bidding for the business. BGH had a bid at 91 cents, Hello World at 90 cents. Both of those discussions fell over, which is why you see the share price dropping significantly in January. Interestingly, in Feb, they came up with an announcement and they actually downgraded their earnings guidance. So although today's announcement reaffirmed their guidance, it was actually a downgrade that we saw in Feb. And they did point to the fact that at that point in time, and this was even before the Iran conflict happened, that people had been reducing their long-haul flights and focusing more on that Asia-Pacific region, as Adam said. So I think even outside of the Iran conflict, there has been issues with Webjet, and I think at the moment it's probably one that I'd be steering clear of. There is value in the business. We've got a target price of 67 cents on it. We do have a hold recommendation on it. We did actually reduce our target price from $1.15, which we had when they were under takeover offer. We've now reduced that, as I said, to 67, which is based on discounted cash flow. So look, it's not as if the business is without value, but I think in the current environment, as Adam said, I'd be steering clear of the travel stocks and particularly at the moment with Webjet Group having the uncertainty of no leadership. It'd be one that I'd be holding in the portfolio, but waiting for a future catalyst to be buying.
Okie dokie, thanks guys. So that is a sell and a hold for our stock of the day being Webjet.